Hey, what's up? Johnny Wimbury here. That's probably as loud as I'm going to get in this message. First of all, this is a life or death message. A life or death message. And I really believe your ability or inability to dissect this message and apply it in your life could be life or death. And I'm not necessarily talking about a physical death like your demise. I'm talking about your financial death, emotional death, financial life, emotional life, spiritual death. I want to avoid any areas of death. And I believe if you listen to this message I'm about to share with you, many of you will prevent a death that may be very closer than you think. And I'm going to talk about my procedure that I had. It's going to connect the story. So, first of all, thank you guys for all the love and prayers that have come in from around the world. If you don't know, I had a spinal fusion for my C4, 5, and 6, or C5, 6, 7. And if you're bold enough, go YouTube it and watch the video. Not mine, but there are several procedures that are out there. But I'm going to rewind a little bit to kind of bring you back to a story that led me to this point in 2019. And the whole message is to gear you up to make sure that you are entering in your 2020 with full purpose, full destiny, full momentum, and you participating in what you want to be rescued from in your 2020. So about a year ago, January would be a year, I hired a concierge doctor. A concierge doctor, their job is normally to maintenance high-profile people. Celebrities, CEOs, presidents of companies, especially billion-dollar corporations and things like that. Most of those presidents and CEOs and high-level executives will have concierge doctors. Why? Because those individuals have a lot of lives in their hands. And those individuals who are sick, if they're down, it affects a lot of lives. So having a concierge doctor, basically, their job is to make you die slower. And I know it sounds crazy, but my doctor's job, his only job, is to make me die slower. We're all dying. His job is to make me die slower. That's what concierge doctors do. So every month I go in and I visit with my concierge doctor, and it kind of turns into, almost like a therapy session, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it is. A lot of blood is drawn in the very beginning. He literally dissects and goes into every fiber of your being to check how healthy you are or how healthy you're not, and the adjustments that you need to make, especially if you plan to continue to be resourceful to the people who depend on you or people who have learned to depend on what you provide. So with all that being said, I began to complain to my doctor about my shoulder pain, not being able to sleep on my shoulder. And I'm thinking, I swam wrong, I work out wrong, I don't stretch right, and all that may be a part of the problem. So he eventually convinces me to go in and get a CAT scan and MRI, which leads me into speaking to a surgeon. And the surgeon shows me this picture of my spine. And he says, Johnny, in your neck, you're supposed to have a 10 millimeters, I think this is what he said, diameter that goes around your spinal cord, which drops down your spine. And any pressure or anything that, creates pressure on the spinal cord can be debilitating in your body. And he said, that's probably why you're losing your strength in your hands. It's probably where the shoulder pains are coming from. And I said, well, how serious is it? He said, it's life or death. He said, it could be, at any moment, something could happen and it could cause you to be paralyzed. Well, I don't want to hear that. So I said, well, how do you fix it? He said, well, there's a surgery that has a 95% success rate where we go in through your neck and we get to your spinal cord and they do what they got to do. I'm like, cool. 95% success rate. That sounds great. He said, as a matter of fact, this is what Peyton Manning had. And the next year he won the Super Bowl. So if you know my personality type, that worked on me. That's how you talk to Johnny. Tell me a champion who did it. Tell me somebody who did the surgery and had all out massive success coming out of it. and you're talking about winning a Super Bowl the next year, that's my language. What I just went through and where I am today has everything to do with what I want my 2020 to be. What are you doing right now to participate in your increase in 2020? Now, here's a part of the message that's not going to be popular, but it's real. It's so real. Part of the procedure, and if you know me, I don't really do research in advance. When I know I'm going to do something, I know I have to do something, I'm just going to freaking do it. Don't really want to watch and read a lot about it. I'm just going to do it. And there are things about this surgery. When I went in last Tuesday, tomorrow will be 7 days. There are things I didn't know that was going to happen because I just didn't do research. I was coming out of an event in Florida, one of the most successful events I've ever had in my life. Was last weekend in Florida. I flew home on Monday night, woke up early Tuesday morning to go have the surgery. So no time to do research. What happens is they go through this portion of your neck to get to your vertebrae. And I never thought about that. And they said, you're going to have a sore throat the next day. Or why? Why would I have a sore throat? So because all of your organs in your throat are going to be moved over so they can get to your vertebrae. Moved over? You're going to grab everything in my neck and move it over just so you can get to the back of my vertebrae? These are perfectly good organs. There's nothing wrong with my esophagus. There's nothing wrong with my tonsils. There's nothing wrong with all of the organs. They're perfect. They're perfectly positioned. Why are you going to move something that's perfect over to get to the problem? All the pain that I've had this week had nothing to do with my surgery. I don't feel the incision. I don't feel the fusion. I don't feel it yet. I hope I never feel it. What I do feel is the pain of what they had to move over. For over an hour, they pulled my body out of its natural being just to get to something that they can correct. That was the problem. How many of you, when everything just looks right, everything looks perfect, but there's something behind what looks perfect that's holding you back? See, what if I would have said, I'm not having this surgery. I don't have any pain in my neck. Why would I abandon feeling healthy in my neck when there's nothing wrong with my neck? The problem's in my shoulder. Some of you are afraid to allow somebody to come in and dissect what's really going on in your life because you know that you look good. Your company looks great. Your business from an outside view, from the masses, it looks great. Your relationship looks great. Your product looks great. But you know, if a professional came in and started doing digging and started moving things around that look perfect, you know they would find flaws. How much longer do you want to live like that? I've made some massive decisions in my life in the last 90 days, in the last 6 months, that it wasn't comfortable at all. It was painful. But the recovery was so worth it. Because now it's not about just looking good and feeling good. It's about being in alignment. So your vertebrae is all about alignment. You can't say, I want to be in alignment. I want to be in alignment with freedom. But you're misleading people. But you're saying, no. Don't move my organs to the side to get to the back because you're going to see the flaws. You're going to see that everything is not what it's supposed to be. Just stay on the forefront. Keep smiling. Keep acting like everything's okay. And the doctor told me, Johnny, if you continue to go on and act like everything's okay, one accident, one slip, you could be paralyzed for life. The surgery was massively successful. But even more than that, I'm in alignment.